This is Algebra 1.2, solving multi-step linear equations. Example number 1, 2x minus 3 equals 5. So, when I look at these, I think of things that are being multiplied or divided as being locked down and not being able to be moved yet, and things that are being added or subtracted as being sort of floating and more easily moved. So I always ignore the multiplication division problems for now and look at addition subtraction problems first. So this is being subtracted, and just like in the last lesson, if you're going to get rid of something that's being subtracted, you need to add, because it's the opposite. So negative 3 plus 3 is 0, 5 plus 3 is 8, because remember, anything you do on one side of the equal, you have to do on the other side of the equal. So now we're going to drop all that down, and we're going to get 2x equals 8, and now we have a different equation. Now we can manipulate this multiplication problem. This 2x is multiplying, so what we're going to do is divide by 2, and x equals 4, because 8 divided by 2 is 4. Example number 2, x over 3 plus 2 equals 8. Remember what I said about the multiplication and division problems? We ignore them for now, leave them locked down, and then we're going to mess with this plus 2. It's being added, so to do the opposite to it is to subtract it. 2 minus 2 is 0. 8 minus 2 is 6. Now we've got x divided by 3 equals 6. If it's being divided, the opposite of division is multiplication. So I'm going to multiply by 3, and that's 6 times 3 is 18. Oh, down here. And then drop that x down, x equals 18. This next one might look a little scary, but is perfectly solvable. X plus 5 over 4 equals 2. Now, the main thing that's happening is this whole phrase, x plus 5, is being divided by this 4. So we can't do anything to this top until we get rid of this 4. So we have to multiply by 4, and we get x plus 5 equals 2 times 4 is 8. Now we can forget about this earlier stuff, and we just work with x plus 5 equals 8. So we subtract the 5, 8 minus 5 is 3, and x equals 3. And now we're working with fractions again. They've given us 1/2 x plus 3/4 equals 2/3. That is a terrible 3. Hold on a second. 3. Okay. So, in many ways, this operates just like that first problem, because this is being multiplied. This 1/2 is multiplying this x, and this plus 3/4 is a floating number. So I can subtract this 3/4, subtract this 3/4. Now I have to do 2/3 minus 3/4. That's going to end up being negative. I'm going to have to multiply this one by 4 and this one by 3 to get the bottom numerators to be this, or denominators, to get the denominators to be the same. So 3 times 4 is 12. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. 3 times 3 is 9. 8 minus 9 is negative 1 over 12. So now I'm going to rewrite this top bit. Leave that half x. We haven't done anything to it yet. 1 half x equals negative 1/12. Okay. Now, the trickiest bit of all is dividing fractions, because we have to divide this by 1/2 and divide this by 1/2, because 1/2 is multiplying the x, so we have to divide, right? To divide a fraction, there's one easy trick, and what it is you take the second fraction and you flip it and then multiply. So let me show you what I mean. I've got negative 1/12. Hold up. Let me write that differently. Negative 1 over 12. And instead of doing the division symbol, I'm going to go multiply. I'm going to flip this. So instead of 1 over 2, it's 2 over 1. So that's negative 1 times 2 is negative 2 over 12. And I can simplify that. By dividing by 2. So I'm going to divide that by 2 and get negative 1. Divide that by 2 and get 6. So negative 1/6 is our x. I hope you can follow that one. Okay, now we're going to use the distributive property. So we've got 2 parentheses 4b plus 3 plus 5b equals 19. And we're trying to solve for b, which again is just like the x. We're trying to get the b alone on one side of the equation and all the numbers on the other side of the equation. So what we've got to look at first is this 2 and this 4b plus 3. You know how when the 2 is butting up against, that would be a cat, 2 is butting up against a letter, it means it's multiplying that letter. It's the same thing here. This 2 is multiplying this entire phrase. So 2 times 4b is 8b. Right? It doesn't change the b at all. It just it changes the number in front of the b. And then the 2 multiplies the other number, the 3. 8b plus 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, now we get rid of that because we've done it. We'll drop this down, plus 5b. Now, this 6 can't add to either of these because it's just a number. But these, because they're multiplying letters, they add together. Those are like terms. So we're going to combine like terms. 8 plus 5 is 13. And we're going to keep the b, 13b, plus 6 equals 19. Okay? Are you with me so far? Now I'm going to erase this top part because we don't need it anymore. And we're just working with 13b plus 6 equals 19. So this, now we're back to an original two-step equation. So we're going to subtract this 6, subtract this 6. 13b equals 19 minus 6 is 13. Divide by 13, divide by 13. 13 divided by 13 is 1. b equals 1. Now I'm going to check my work for b equals 1, which I haven't done in any of the other ones, but I feel like we've moved fairly quickly, and this is just a nice proof of concept to show you that solving it does really work. It does find the correct answer. So I've got 2 times 4b plus 3 plus 5b equals 19. Okay, so 4b, b is 1. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3. 4 plus 3 is 7. Drop that 2 down. We've got 2 times 7 plus 5 times 1 is 5. 2 times 7 is 14. 14 plus 5 equals 19. 19 equals 19. Isn't that cool? Alright, now they want us to do distributive property with decimal numbers. So they've given us negative 5.5 x plus 1 minus, oh, this is going to take up a lot of space. How am I going to do this? That ought to work. Okay. Minus 2.5 x minus 4.25 close parentheses equals 22.75. Okay. First I want to distribute this. So I get negative 5.5x plus, no, not plus, minus, because it's a negative. Minus 5.5 minus 2.5x, because I'm multiplying this negative by this 2.5, and then this negative times this negative 4.25 actually equals positive 4.25. Remember, a negative times a negative equals a positive. Okay, so now I'm going to combine like terms. I've got this 5.5 and this 2.5. They're both negative, so they combine together to make 5 and 2 is 7. 0.5 and 0.5 is 1, so that's 8. Negative 8x. 5.5, negative 5.5 plus 4.25 is going to be something. Hold on, let me get a calculator. Okay, negative 5.5 plus 4.25 equals negative 1.25. So now I'm going to take this negative 1.25 and I'm going to add it over here. This 0.75 and 0.25 makes for 1, so we carry that over there. 2 and 1 and 1 makes for 4, so that's 24. We've got negative 8x equals 24. Okay, get rid of all this stuff on top. I don't need it anymore. Negative 8x equals 24 divided by negative 8 divided by negative 8. 8, 16, 24. So that's x equals negative 3. There. I hate decimals. They're annoying. Anyway, moving on. Okay, word problems. Word problems are definitely going to be on the test, so let's look at these word problems. The honor roll students of Grace High School went on a field trip to the movies. Each movie ticket cost $5 plus a one-time convenience fee of $13. How many students went on the field trip if the total cost was $113? Write an equation to represent this problem and then solve it. Okay, so each ticket costs $5. our unknown is the number of tickets. So $5 times the unknown, the number of tickets. There's a one-time convenience fee of $13 that's separate from the price. So we're just going to add that by itself. And the total that it comes out to is 113. So subtract the 13, subtract the 13. That becomes 5x equals 100. Divide by 5, divide by 5. And x equals 20. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Okay, here's one of those math problems with a person with too many items. Kathy has 118 purple, red, and green marbles. Let's just write down that 118. That's going to be necessary. It's the total, so it's going to be on one side of the equals. She has 5 more purple marbles than green marbles. So she's got a certain number of G, and G plus 5. Well, hold up. I'm getting ahead of myself. She has 5 more purple marbles than green, 4 less red than green. How many marbles of each color does Kathy have? Write an equation to represent the problem and solve. Okay, so let's see. If we call green, because everything's based around the green marbles. So 5 more purple than green. 5 more than the green is purple. And 4 less than the green is red. So if we call green X, then she's got X and X plus 5 for the purple and X minus 4 for the red. Which means we got to combine like terms. So that's 3x plus 5 minus 4 gives us a plus 1. Okay, now I'm going to solve this. This should be our operative equation. Let's see if it works out. Minus 1 minus 1, 117 equals 3x. 117 divided by 3. 3 goes into 11 3 times. It makes 9. 11 minus 9 is 2, 27. The 3 goes into 27 9 times. So x should equal 39. Remember, x was green marbles, so there should be 39 green marbles. And if there are 5 more purple marbles, so 39 plus 5 is 43. So I'm going to get rid of that x and call it G. And then P for purple equals 39 plus 5, 44. And then R should be, what was it? 4 less? 4 less. So 39 minus 4 is 35. And now if we add those together, 9 plus 4, no wait, let's do 4 plus 5. 4 plus 5 is 9. 9 plus 9 is 18. 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. 118. 118. Looks like we're good. Okay, here's a fun one. The sum of 2 consecutive integers is 5. Okay, so consecutive means they follow one right after the other, like 1, 2, or 2, 3. Consecutive, one right after the other. 2, 4, not consecutive. 4, 5, consecutive. Does that make sense? The sum of 2 consecutive integers is 5. that means the numbers have to be smaller than 5. So we're going to look at all the consecutive integers between 0 and 5. 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 4, 4 and 5. 1 plus 2, because it's the sum of those two integers. 1 plus 2 is 3, 2 plus 3 is 5, 3 plus 4 is 7, 4 plus 5 is 9, and the number they wanted was 5. So the sum of 2 and 3 is 5. There you go. That one's actually easier than it sounds. The sum of two consecutive integers is 5 is a weird sentence, but once you know what consecutive and integer mean, it's pretty easy. Integer just means whole number, by the way. Integer just means whole number. Okay, this next one's a little tougher. The sum, right, addition, sum is addition. The sum of 3 consecutive integers is 24. Find the largest integer. 3 consecutive integers. So we're adding 3 numbers together to get 24. I'm going to think, like, if it were 10, 11, 12, right? 10 and 11 makes 21, and then 12 would make it like 33. So that's way too big. So we're going to go under 10. So I'm going to just guess randomly 5, 6, 7. Okay, 5, 6, 7. And if it ends up being too high, we'll go lower than this. If it ends up being too low, we'll go higher than this, right? So 5 plus 6 is 11. 11 plus 7 is 18. That's too low. So let's go up to 7, 8, 9. 7 plus 8 is 15. 15 plus 9 is 24. And that's the number we were looking for. And their question was find the largest integer. The sum of 3 consecutive integers is 24. What is the largest integer? 9. See, it's actually simpler than it seems. And that does it for lesson 1.2. If you need anything, just rewind back through the video and hopefully it'll make more sense the second time you see it.